Today is August 17th, 2025. I'm up here. This would be where Jenny Creek comes into the Klamath River. Thought I'd kind of come up today and see what everything was looking like. We had some rain in the area last night. I'm not sure how much they got here, but I thought I could just come check things out. I haven't really been able to stop and come up here for about 3 weeks. There is some water still flowing. And that would be the Klamath River. It's kind of what this whole area right here looks like. It is cloudy today. We got, like I said, we had rain yesterday. We're supposed to get more possibly today. Thunderstorms maybe this afternoon. So I'm gonna pause it. Or wait, I might actually walk down here and see what I can see. As far as water flow as it goes into the Klamath River. Of course, I'll be able to see that better as I go around the bend, but that's what it's looking like right here. So this is the little entrance. So it's here the last time that I came here. It's been here. This is the entrance for them to go in to work on this side of Jenny Creek. So this is kind of what it's looking like here. That's looking as Jenny Creek goes down into the Klamath River. I see now they have a whole bunch of rocks over there by the trees. And some other wood debris pieces. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I can walk down there to the fence, but I don't feel like walking down there and back up out. Not today anyways. Maybe another day. And that greenery is where Jenny Creek is currently flowing, or on the other side of it, and in the middle of it in some areas. So you can see all the wood debris over there and the rock. There's definitely a lot of traffic up here today. We've passed a lot of cars. There's going to be another one coming by here in just a few minutes. It's probably the most cars I've seen up here in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and head down the road. So as we're driving down the road, I noticed those big, I'm not sure, sandbags. And I also noticed something white in the river, in the creek, sorry. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe I can see it better as I get around the bend. But this is what it's looking like here. I'm gonna head on down the road. I do see, I'm not sure what that is either. So this would be down here at Jenny Creek. This is how the creek is flowing right now. It's pretty clear. You can see that that little drainage has stopped flowing. Sorry, I paused it for a second as the vehicle went by. So there is still some standing water over there. And then this side looks completely different. They're doing a lot of work over here again. It looks like they are once again moving the creek bed. They've put some woody debris here. It looks like there's more rock in here. They've now got that tarped off because it used to go down and around that way originally. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of speechless as to see what's going on up here. And I'm not sure why, but over there, there's like a little holding pond or some sort of water that's over there. I can see that there's some woody debris over there. I think it's in one of the channels. I think that's the white tarp that I was just looking at. This is kind of what this whole area is now looking like. It definitely does not look the same. They are still moving things around. This is what the water clarity looks like. So I guess I just don't understand. Last year they moved this creek. They moved it to go down that direction, in which they just barricaded off. And now they're diverting it that way, which originally when it first was dewatered, it went that way when they first breached the dam. There's definitely a lot more rocks and more debris that's in here. I just don't really know what to think right now. I'm not sure how many times we have to mess with the creek and what their intentions are. Like I said, they keep moving it. This is all being done with our taxpayer funds, ratepayer funds, and the grants that they're applying for. So basically, we're all paying for this. So as I'm kind of walking, you kind of get a better perspective. Like down there, you can see that white tarp thing. They have definitely like built up the area. Like this section right here, I can see that they've built it up more. They've filled it in more. And over here, I'm not sure what they're doing over here on the bank sides. But you can see where all the dirt is that they've moved it in. It looks like they have some woody debris down in that pond looking thing. I'm gonna pause it and kind of go around. So that's where they moved the creek. That's where, well, that channel over there is where they moved the creek to last year. Now they've blocked it off and have it diverting, it looks like that way, which it was going that way previously. But it looks like they've blocked off that channel now. And there is still water over there, but it looks different. So I'm gonna pause it. I haven't gone around on that side yet. Actually, here's the holding pond. I guess holding pond, I don't know what it is, but there's water there. I'm gonna pause it as I go around all these bushes. This is a good vantage point. You can see that they're bringing in a lot of woody debris. Lots of changes going on up here. And now I'm coming over to this area. I think that there was a lot of tules and stuff in here. I'm not sure what their plan is right here either. So you can see where Jenny Creek now is. Like I said, they did divert it over that direction. But it looks like... So sorry, I had a car stop and chat with me for a second. But this is what that section now looks like. You can see there's Jenny Creek, or where Jenny Creek is now. Kind of pan over to here. I'm kind of in a bad spot right now in the trees, so I'm gonna pause it and find another good spot. So this area used to be like full of willows and tules, and I think it was kind of naturally wet, but I don't know why they tore it all out, or what their plan is with this area. And as I'm looking around here, I'm seeing that, like I said, I don't know if trees are dying because of lack of water or if they're starting to turn already due to fall. But I do notice a lot of the trees are starting to color and change color. Like this one, you can start to see like it's turning yellow and orange. I just don't know if it's fall colors already or if it's lack of water. I think it's a little too early for things to be changing color for fall. But I'm kind of noticing that everywhere with the trees. This one almost looks like it's dying too. So back to Jenny Creek. This is what Jenny Creek is looking like now. You can see that they've moved in some more boulders down there. Those look like they're fresh, dirt-laden boulders, rock. Kind of wondering if they filled in that section where it used to braid off into. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's 4 braids in here anymore like there once was. I can kind of just see one main channel. And then over there it's hard to see this area. I'm not sure what they're doing with this stretch. But where the creek, where they moved it to, was that channel between all the greenery. I think that's the white sweet clover. And right now it's like flowing over there. So I'm gonna pause it and find another good vantage point. So as I'm walking, you can see this section a little bit better. They used to kind of have a road through here, and there used to be like all the tules and stuff like that. It kind of looks like they've dammed it. They've got a little dirt berm through there. You can see where it's wet all through there. So I'm not sure what the intention is with this, if they're going to create a little pond here. But just on the other side is now where they've moved Jenny Creek to. And like I said, I'm not sure what they're doing over in that section. Maybe that's a road and it got wet with all the rain last night, I'm guessing, but that's right next to where the creek was. But I'm thinking the road is up higher wherever they travel, because you can see it right there. I'm gonna pause it. So I came around some bushes, so that's that area. Jenny Creek. I really hope that after this restoration this year, I really hope that they're done with this area. I know that they've played in here quite a bit. And if I pan over here, you can almost see those bags that I saw on our way in. I think that was one of the tarp things that I saw. The equipment, you can see the equipment's over there. So this is kind of what this whole area is looking like. The bags, the equipment, all the dirt that they're still moving around in Jenny Creek. This little holding pond. I'm just not sure what the final end product is going to be. I guess I just don't understand why they've come in and they've made so many changes and pulled so much out, and what they're going to continue to do. I would hope that this is the last year that they mess with this creek. This is the second year in a row that they've been manipulating the creek itself. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds. But I just don't understand it. So I'm going to pause it and I'm going to go on up and around the bend. Actually, before I do, it almost looks like there's some standing water over there. But I'm going to make my way around and we'll see what it looks like. This is another perspective of it as I'm walking around. Definitely looks a lot different. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't know why they pulled all the tules out. So it looks like a lot of the wood debris that was here the last time they've moved down into Jenny Creek. It actually smells really good. I love the smell of wood. I believe all these materials came from College of the Siskiyous, which is down in Weed. I think from here it's probably at least a half an hour drive, probably 45 minutes to get up here. Like I said, some of the trees are already starting to turn color. I don't know if it's an early fall or if it's just lack of water, but I am definitely noticing a difference with all the tree colors. I don't know if you can see that one. So I'm gonna pause it. Lots of changes. This is that little holding pond. That's the bridge where I was just at. I'm not sure if that's just a natural sub-area pond. I don't know. Now that the lake's not here anymore. I'm gonna pause it and go down on those rocks. So I'm walking down into here, so that's that holding pond. Like I said, this whole area looks different. I'm gonna come pop up over here on this rock. This is kind of what the whole area is looking like, and then I'll kind of pan in a little bit. So I don't know if you can see, I can kind of see it through the tree limbs. There is some standing water down there. It's kind of hard to see from here. Right here in these greenery, right where you see the rock, that's where they moved the creek bed to last year. It looks like they're tearing it out possibly because I can see a bunch of rock piled up here. And right in this area is where they did the diversion. And you can see that there's, I don't know what they're doing with the tree right there. Definitely moving a lot of dirt around over there. It appears like they're building it up, to be honest, with rock and dirt. This whole area looks like they're building it up on the opposite side. And that would be over towards the Jenny Creek Bridge. I'm just a little speechless today. Got a lot of questions. A lot of, wondering. So anyways, that's what it's looking like right here. I'm gonna pause it and go on down the road. So I came up the road a little bit. This is kind of like looking back up towards the bridge and this whole area that they're changing and doing stuff with. You can see where that white tarp is that I saw before. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is yet. Maybe to keep the creek from flowing this direction. Lots and lots of work. Sorry if I'm going too fast. I'm gonna pause it and walk towards the culvert. So you can see there is some water flow in Jenny Creek. We know it's flowing up above. So it looks like they have filled in like this whole area right here, where they created this channel. It looks like there might be a little bit of water flow in that channel. You can barely see some water over there. But I'm not sure what they're doing over here. Over there's the wood. And it used to flow in that channel right there. I'm not sure if it still does. It all used to flow in right over here. And now I'm not sure where that channel flows in. It could be right there. We'll find out when I get around the bend. So I'm gonna walk on up here just a little bit. To this culvert. To here. And that's what it's looking like upstream. You can see where they blocked it off kind of up there, like that's where they blocked it off. Looks like there is still some water flow in there. But I'm not sure what they're doing over on this side. So I'll pause it and go on around. I'll pause it and go on around the bend. So I come on down around the road. So this is kind of what it's looking like upstream. That's where they put that berm in. So they're now no longer letting it come down this way. They're diverting it now to the left, which I guess is kind of where it went originally. They got the wood debris. So right there where you see the wood debris and that dirt is kind of the channel where it came through originally. So I know that they're building that up. And now it comes around that way. That's where they diverted it to last year. And then this winter it created a bunch of fingers in here. So it came around where you can currently see flow right there. And then it came down this other little finger right there. That doesn't look like any water's coming down it anymore. And it used to flow out this direction. So it looks like they're changing the direction of Jenny Creek. You can kind of see the different braids. And then that channel is the channel that they moved it to last year. There's very, very little water flow in that channel. But that's where they moved it to last year, and that's what they just shut off. And that is a little holding pond, that spring we think. That's where all the tulies were. Definitely a lot going on up here. Like I said, I just don't understand why they keep moving this channel. Which right now it's going back to the channel where it originally was and the direction it originally went. So I guess I just don't understand why they came in and moved it in the first place if they were going to move it back to where it originally flowed. So I'm going to go up the road and I'm going to see if I can see it up further where it's coming in. So I came around some trees. This is kind of what this area is looking like. That's looking up towards Jenny Creek. And if you see, that's that white dam thing that they put in. I'll see what I can see through the trees. You can see that there's a lot of rock here. That is where it was flowing, where the creek was. You can see that there's still some water flow in there, or at least some water. When I look here in the creek bottom, you can see that there is some water in the creek bottom. But I don't know how well it's really flowing. And then I've discovered where they're brought it back into is right there. So that is where they're bringing the creek back into, all along this area. Sorry, there's a tree. And that is where they cross Jenny Creek. So in this whole area right here is where it's now flowing back into the creek. Right over here, that is one of the little creek beds that it was coming through, but it's no longer flowing, and it would come in down here. And as I look back up the creek, like I said, there is still some water flow, but not anymore. So it looks like they are once again diverting Jenny Creek. It's no longer coming down any of these braids where it made its way through our winter storms. That all looks pretty dry. I'm sure there's probably some water flow, but they have diverted it. You can't really see that the white tarp thing right there that blocks it. So they are now blocking the flow right there, and now it's going off that direction. And so it looks like it must go somewhere where that fresh dirt is, and it must meander its way through that green, the white sweet clover, and it comes in down here now. You look between the trees, I can see some water flow. Sorry if I'm zooming in and zooming out too fast for you. But this is where you can kind of start to see it flow in. Just seeing if it comes in anywhere else. Like I said, it comes in up above by that road. I'll see if I can get it from here. If not, I will go, oh, I can. So it also comes in right here by the road. Looks like that's where the main channel is. And it filters in throughout that whole section, it looks like. So they basically bypassed the 3 channels that are up that way. I'm not sure what they're doing with their dirt and rock either. I can see some piles of rock and some dirt. I'll kind of come down here, see if I can see through this tree. You can kind of see through the tree. Anyways, I'm going to pause it. So this would be where Jenny Creek comes into the Klamath River. Which would be right down there. I can see that, sorry if it gets shaky when I move. It's because I've got it really zoomed in. The farther I zoom in, the shakier it gets. But I know that they did some work right there to open up that channel so it flows into the Klamath River. It almost looks like they have a crossing right there, but it's hard to tell from this far away. They got some woody debris right there too, so I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do right there at the mouth. So this is kind of what this whole area looks like. It makes it really hard to get through the trees. But as I'm looking here, obviously everything, like I said, is already changing color. I just don't know if we're going to have an early fall or if it's due to lack of water. But some of the trees down there are also changing color, the bright green ones. I see this oak has a few dead leaves in it too. Or it's starting to change. A few of the oaks have some color going on. The acorns haven't dropped yet because I still see acorns in the tree. But anyways, this is what everything's looking like at Jenny Creek.